what did you guys get from yesterday?
What you got, Drake? Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, Mr. McConaughey. So how did growing up in Longview, Texas affect your life?
Longview, Texas. Well, I was born in Uvalde, Texas. All right, and we moved out of Uvalde when it got its first Pizza Hut to about 12,000 people, and that was like, it was becoming the big city at 12,000. But we moved up because of the oil boom and the late 70s, early 80s, so there was a lot of work up there in Longview. And Longview at that time was one of the fastest growing cities in the nation. And so we moved up there. My dad got in the oil business, got real successful. Longview's in northeast Texas, so like west of us was Tyler, and then there was Dallas. Mm-hmm. And they kind of thought we were the rednecks over on the Louisiana border. Yeah. The Caddo Lake sort of reaches over the Texas border in that area. I lived outdoors completely there. We lived in a place, we lived outside of town, we lived in the country. It was lakes, ponds. Every day was spent outside building tree houses or making bicycle BMX tracks or something. And I made some good friends there. I still keep in touch with a good friend who lives in Daytona now, Trey Hickman, who was there. Brian Simons, a guy I started in 3rd grade with, was at our house 2 weeks ago at my wife's birthday party.
Wow.
So I made some very good friends there. It was a humble town, and it's not growing like it used to, like it was back when we moved there. But I guess you're going to live an outdoorsy life there, and I met a lot of good people. People in that area will give you the shirt off their back if you're a stranger in town.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How did you get started with JKL? What really struck your passion for the well-being of kids?
Yeah, well, Just Keep Living started, the idea was not a charity or not a foundation. It started with the passing of my dad. All right, so since he was physically no longer going to be with me in my life, it was how do I keep alive his spirit and everything he taught me and what incentivized me when he's not physically here anymore. So that was Just Keep Living, just keep him alive.
Oh, great.
So then I started branding it on basically everything. Flip-flops, dog bowls, t-shirts, everywhere. And there was nothing I could find that it didn't work with. So I knew I wanted to start something, some sort of charity or philanthropic work. I didn't know exactly what. I knew I wanted to be with kids. And then the question was, which kids? And the reason I wanted to be with kids is because I wanted to be prevent before you got a cure. Mm-hmm. So one idea is get them young while they can still make a better life.
That's the motto of JKL, right?
Just Keep Living. Well, it's got a bunch of different mottos. But that's the idea behind the foundation: prevent before you need to cure. Mm-hmm. Incentivize. So it was get them young, and then it was who to get. And so I spent a couple years thinking about where was I starting to make my own decisions in my life for myself, and it was high school, which that's the last 4 years of a young man or woman's life where they still have to listen to mom and dad, got to be in school, got to listen to a principal or somebody. But once you're out of high school, you're basically on your own.
Very
and the
true.
consequences, if you're screwing up once you're 18 and out of high school, have a lot larger teeth, about bigger bite than they do before. You don't just get a demerit. You may end up in jail or worse, right?
Yes.
So we said, let's kid them in high school. Now, which high schools? We said Title I high schools because those are lower income schools. Mm-hmm. We found that the young men and women in those schools needed our curriculum more, which is based on exercise, nutrition, community service, and gratitude. And we're in 24 schools now, and we'll have to add quite a few more this year.
Great. Do you enjoy hanging out with the kids at school? I've heard that you are very much a part of the academic excellence there, and you go for jogs with them just out of the blue. I mean, it's just amazing.
I drop by when I can. Now, look, because it's 24 schools, obviously I can't spend too much time at each one of them.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, I try to get there to kick off each school program. I got a 5-person staff that oversees the stuff on the daily basis, on the weekly basis, and the monthly basis. And then on the ground, there's one person that's sort of our all-star, and that's the teacher on the ground. It's always eye-opening for my mom and I, and we've taken our kids over with us too, to go there and see how much they're enjoying it, what they're getting out of it. My kids get to see kids that maybe don't have as much as they do, and be thankful for what they have. I think that's healthy for my kids to see, to appreciate more so what they do have. And so it's always a nice, sobering eye-opener for me when I go see them. And it also reminds me, and I feel like, you know what, we're doing some good, and I can see the good we're doing.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. How has JKL impacted the kids? Like in school, are they performing better academically?
Yeah,
physically?
We got, it's 4 components in our program. You got to, it's voluntary, it's after school, but you got to show up with goals, usually exercise goals. Maybe I want to be able to run a marathon or a half marathon, or I want to make the soccer team, or I want to lose 8 pounds so I can fit it in my prom dress. Whatever that goal is, that the child comes in, that the young man or woman comes in with that, and we help them track it and meet that goal. That's on the exercise component. Nutrition on a budget. We try to show them that instead of spending $35 at the burger joint each night, here's what you can buy at the supermarket, and you can go home and cook with your family and get that social time, and it's better for you. Third is community service. If they're coming to our program, they got to get back to their own community, and this gives them sort of some ownership in the program. Gives them a lot of dignity to be able to give back and not just receive.
Yeah,
help.
of course.
And then finally, the fourth thing, which is the halo sort of the whole program, is gratitude. And we just, the more you're thankful for, you're going to create in your life to be thankful for. And the kids all sit around and say one thing they're thankful for in front of everybody at the end of the class.
Wow.
Which is not a cool thing to do when you're in high school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not cool. Right?
I can understand that, yeah.
And so, we started off this thing, and everyone was kind of whispering. I'm thankful for just around there. And everyone would just repeat the same thing.
Yeah.
Camilla and I kind of just busted up the circle one day and went, guys, this doesn't have to be a serious, dramatic thing you're thankful for. They're like, well, what are you thankful for? I said, man, I woke up this morning and got a good kiss from my wife. And they oohed, nod, and thought that was fun. I was like, look, we got Halloween coming up. And you can be thankful for Halloween because you're going to get candy. It can be a simple, fun thing. It doesn't have to be heavy.
Of course.
And so as soon as they loosened up on ideas to be thankful for, then actually they started to really share more heartfelt things about their family and relationships within their family and friends and their hopes, whether they had gotten them or not. And that's how we end each class. Academics, 90% of the students that have come to since coming to our curriculum, their academics have risen within the school. Wow. 91% of kids coming to our class, their attendance has risen. Now these are schools that have a 50% dropout rate.
Yeah, of course.
So staying in school is a major big deal. And behavior, 89% of them, their behavior has improved since being in our curriculum.
Very good, very good. So where are the JKL schools located around the country?
We are in Los Angeles, we're in California, we're in Texas, quite a few here, Louisiana, and we just started in Washington, D.C.
Very nice. And what's your favorite thing about Mac, Jack, and McConaughey?
Well, favorite thing, I'll tell you what, it's not a specific thing, but it's how the whole thing's working. It started last year. All right, we did 2 years, just the 4th year. Last year, I was sitting there on the Friday night. On the Thursday night, which was the show, it was Toby Keith. We had just done the auction. You get thousands of people in the theater. Sound system's immaculate. the entertainment was right on. Everyone's having a great time. We've just had a great auction. But everyone's quietly listening to this act we got on. And it hit me. I was like, you know what? This is the spot to be on the globe tonight. And then Friday night's another incredibly special night. You get a golf tournament between Thursday night and Friday night, but tomorrow night's even a more intimate night. Tonight's the big bang and the big show and the full band, and you can get up and shake a tail feather all you want. Tomorrow night becomes a very sort of quiet, really high quality listening party to great artists and writers who wrote their own stuff and are out there getting to share their story.
Yeah, of course.
With it, which is where this all started with Ben Willie Darrell. What Coach Royal and Willie and Ben liked was the singer-songwriter night. Was the night when the person who wrote the hits showed up and told their story.
Oh, yes.
And then played the song, and people in the audience went, "Wait a minute, that's my favorite hit."
Yeah.
Great. I didn't know you wrote that, and you got to hear the origin story behind it.
Yeah.
And so that's really the nugget behind the singer-songwriter night, which is
very nice.
Yeah.
Can anybody come to this event, or is it just how much?
There's not an age limit. You can come if you're under 18.
So
You can come as young as you want.
anybody just
It's kid appropriate.
okay,
As
great.
long as you can handle some loud music. You might hear a couple of gosh darns in there.
So
But not much worse than that. But we on the floor we have like, look, this because it's going to split 3 ways between my foundation, Max, and Jack. We, we've raised over $3.5 million in the last 3 years. All right, so that's some big donations,
Oh, yeah.
and we have some really nice packages that we auction off.
Yeah.
A lot of the musicians end up donating their time and their pay. They don't have to, but a lot of them do. So yeah, anyone can come, but to be down there on the floor, there's some of the big donors.
Yeah.
They definitely get the best seats. Now there's an upstairs general admission that there'll be people in there that are coming tonight to see Dirks and Casey.
Yep.
And the tickets went on sale for that months ago. So yeah, anyone can come. There's a price of admission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
I get a few guests in for free. Yeah. We wrote it on this night. This is the night that hit me 2 years ago where I was out there and I said, you know what, this is the place to be on the planet tonight. Right here in Austin, Texas. Thank you for being here.
You've kind of already answered this, but how did the idea of MJM come about? Was it
Jack Ingram went to Coach Mac Brown and said, you know what? I miss the Ben Willie Darrell. We should do a new generation of the Ben Willie Darrell. It's not around anymore. And Mac liked the idea, and he goes, well, let's go to McConaughey. So I got a call from Mac, and we talked about it. And we met, I think, the next day out at Spanish Oaks, where we're going to have the golf tournament tomorrow. And Mac and Jack and I sat down and talked for about 2.5 hours. Liked the idea, and that was pretty much it. We said, okay, well, let's go forward doing it. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Let's organize it, and we were off.
Great. Awesome. So how big of an impact does MJM have on the organizations that you donate the proceeds from this weekend to?
Well, I can speak to mine in particular, what it goes to. Basically, we've got to pay that teacher on the ground around $30,000 a semester. All right, we have a lot of sponsors, Cliff Bar, there's what we get donated water, workout equipment and stuff, but there's expenses for field trips. There's still, we give t-shirts, we give them a journal, we have guest speakers come. Not that we pay the guest speakers, but mainly it's to, we work within the school, we've got there's organizational stuff with the $30,000 semester to that teacher, that's our all-star on the ground, and then a lot of just things that make the program work there on the ground. And that's not including what I pay out of my pocket, which is the salary to my employees.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Wrapping it up.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. McConaughey. I really
work.
appreciate it.
All right, good stuff. How'd we do? You did good. Good job. Oh. All right. To that I say, all right. That thing you do, that 3 affirmations,
Yes.
things are going well, and
Yeah.
you got 3 things, and you're about to cruise up and get the 4th, and everything is all right.